Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Marine X back at it again. Early Labor Day, early access. Companies are already starting to send me some deals. Some of these are fantastic. I've already made some purchases. I'll let you know which ones I've already snatched up. We got to start off with today's video sponsor, which is the Woobin E2. They had this up for pre-order. Now it is up. It's ready to rock. This is a phenomenal keychain flashlight. Let me tell you what I've been using this for mostly. I've been really a big fan of this, the functionality of this thing for around the house type of usage. Okay, so using this thing, I had to do some quick repairs to for some crazy reason, in the infinite wisdom of the early 1990 builders, which first off, I love the layout of my house, but I don't know why you would have your dishwasher on a one pole switch, meaning that at any time someone could kill the power to your dishwasher. Well, I had to delete that, and I really needed something that had a magnetic base. It was a tight area to work in. Of course, I got some stainless steel knives sitting right there. I'm like, well, what flashlight can attach to these knives so that I can throw a Wago switch on there and just continue the circuit, continue sending the line in the load to my dishwasher. This thing worked out phenomenally for that. Looking in closets, having this on your keychain. The introduction price on this is going to knock this down an additional $4. It's already a very affordable light as is when you're getting this thing for, 17 bucks. But if you come in, you grab this thing, they're going to have a clickable coupon. Make sure you click that coupon. Okay. That's going to get you this thing all the way down to about 13 bucks. Phenomenal light. Now, I like the full uses of it. It has the RGB. You may want the red light because red light doesn't attract bugs like that. So you can use that to read a map or read a book while you're outside. Of course, you also have the blue light as well if you want to use that to illuminate like close to a shoreline if you're trying to get some fish into a bag or something like that. Great little light. It does come in two different colorways. You can get it in the black. You can get it in the red. And very functionality. Shout out to Woobin for sponsoring today's video. We got to talk about some of these Work Pro, these 4-inch pliers. Now, these 4-inch pliers I laughed at them at first. Didn't think they were very useful. I found a use case for them. The biggest thing for me is extremely tight spaces. Okay. So, of course, I wanted to test out the circuit of that dishwasher we just talked about, make sure it's running. I pulled out the dishwasher a little bit too far. I yanked on the water supply line for the dishwasher. I had to retighten that bad boy. Well, one of my smallest pair of pliers that can get back there to actually access that underneath my sink. Yeah, the mini water pumps, because they're so short, they still give me grip. They allow for me to throw on a knee pad, get in there. Great price, normally $17.99, $14.24 is a buy it now price. We also got to take a look here. Definitely is the TomTalk 10 liter. Now, this one specifically is one of my favorite bags because this one's the X pack. They have the sale on some of their other materials as well. But if you're going to get this bag, I would just say go for the X pack material. I like the way it feels. I like the way it looks. I've bought this thing several times since 2022. Back in the day, these things used to be cheaper. We all know inflation, blah, 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 but it's still coming in right now, $48, normally 60 bucks. That's a buy it now price, 20% off as well. Let's talk about a wearable speaker. So right now I'm building the shed base because I'm going to be building a shed here in a few weeks. Now my shed base is going to be I got to dig out 4 inches of earth, get ready to compact that with gravel and do a bunch of other crap. I don't want to wear headphones because it's 101 degrees outside. So I like a wearable Bluetooth speaker. I can clip this to myself, still listen to my music or my talk radio, still have my tunes. If someone calls my name, I can hear them. I don't have to take headphones off. Normally 58 bucks down to $49, 16% off. That's a buy it now price as well. And it's by DeWalt. So, Kaiser Drop Bear. I love the Kaiser Drop Bear series. I love it when it comes in their version of the axis lock, the crossbar lock. And this is a phenomenal version as well. The AEBL is going to be great to use around wet environments like a kitchen or something like that. It's a very durable steel, different blade shapes. I like this specifically because it does have that thumb stud. It's very attractive looking, small blade under 3 inches. Buy it now price, 42 bucks, 28% off. It's something you want to snatch up as well. We also got to take a look at the Kaiser. Now, this is the UT Bear. So this is like the Drop Bear, but this one, you use a utility knife. You can change the blade out when you want to. You don't have to sharpen it. You don't get the durability of of course, the AEBL, but you can swap these out in a pinch because you can buy utility knives on Amazon, at big box stores, at Walmart, whatever. Normally $42, $34 buy it now price. If you use a lot of utility knives, you're cutting caulk, you're opening boxes, you're doing whatever, this is something you might want to snatch up as well. We also need to talk about the Bibbery. Now Bibbery is having a sale on a lot of their multi-tools. They wanted to point this out to me, and I was kind of looking through their page. The one that jumped out at me the fastest was this mini keychain scissor. Using this to cut thin pieces of like aluminum or tissue paper, cutting zip ties, right up my alley. Using that slotted screwdriver that's there as well, if I need to be able to take off the plate so I can do that light switch repair that we talked about. The little Phillips is built in as well. Has a knife, has a wire stripper. This is actually a pretty good multi-tool. Bottle cap lifter, all the shebang. Normally $26. No one pays $27 for this. It normally hovers around $20. $13.49 is a good price at 50% off. We also need to talk about the EcoFlow. I love EcoFlow. EcoFlow is my go-to. I got some EcoFlow power stations behind me right now as we speak. Those things are about to get tested. I'm always just trying to see what's the best deal for EcoFlow type of stuff. The EcoFlow River 3 Plus. This is a 286 watt hour. It can do 760 watts. So if you have a relatively, a decent size thing, you're not going to be able to run a microwave off this bad boy, but it has a less than 10 millisecond UPS. So if you want to plug up a CPAP machine, if you're camping, fantastic for that. Has a decent light on the front, and this is expandable. You can actually buy expandable batteries, snaps right into the bottom. And I use one of these. This is hooked up literally right now as we speak to one of my internet connections. It keeps my router turned on. It keeps my modem turned on. If we lose power, most of the time we don't lose internet because my internet is fiber. It has to be like a major miles wide power outage for us to lose internet. Well, I don't want my kids to go crazy. So I have one of these hooked up to my internet so that they can still use their devices. So normally $299, 13% off. This is a early access deal. I think this is going to get even stronger for Labor Day, but this might not be on Labor Day. So this is a buy it now price as well. And so speaking of EcoFlow, we also got to talk about their Trail series. You don't need, so we just looked at that last unit, which has AC. It has an AC inverter. What AC inverter is what puts that thing over $200. You don't need the AC inverter. You just want to be able to charge DC items. So you still get the cigarette lighter port or so if you have stuff like an immersion heater, this is great for camping, stuff like that. There's a lot of devices nowadays that's using the cigarette lighter port. Way more than I thought are still using it. You still got 2 USB-Cs, so you're still going to be able to use that if you want to. You still have the 2 USB-As doing 12 watts. You have a solar input, which can take up to like 45 watts for solar input. This is a great little unit. Normally $159, $143. That's a buy it now price, especially if you don't need the AC inverter. That's something that you may want to snatch up. Let's just say you don't need nothing even that big, something even smaller. This is the portable power station I let my kiddos use. Their iPad is starting to die. Their iPhones are starting to die. They're sitting on the couch or sitting in the back of a vehicle. I hand them one of these. This is enough power to charge up their crap, keep their paws off my more expensive stuff. And it has 2 built-in cables. They've broken one of them, okay? But it still has, even with the broken cable, they can still use these built-in cables, these slots on the side to plug in their own cords. Normally $100, $69.99. That's a buy it now price at 30% off, 25,000 milliamp hours. That makes that safe to fly with. Let's say EcoFlow is a little bit too pricey for you. I just gave my neighbor one of these. This is a Dapson 2000L. This is a 2048 watt hour, so 2 kilowatt unit. It can do 2,200 watts for the AC inverter, 3,300 watts on a power boost. So if you have something with an aggressive compressor, a refrigerator, a microwave, or something like that that jumps over that 2,200 watts just for a couple of seconds, this thing can handle it. It's $584. Now you're wondering how the hell can they do a 2 kilowatt unit for less than $600? I will tell you, there's a few things that are a little quirky about it. You're only getting 3 of these 20 amp ports on the front. Okay. The rest of them are 15 amp. And then you also are going to get two of the USB-Cs. One of them was 100 watts. One of them was only 30 watts. And I will say this thing is a little, when the fan kicks on to cool itself down, the fan's a little loud. Okay. So you may not want to use this to back up your TV in a bedroom because it could drown out your movie if you're watching late at night. Okay. So you can tell Dapson's not using their premium stuff that they use on some of their other line. They really want to get you 2 kilowatts of storage for as affordable as possible. If that's your goal, 100%, using this for tailgating, using this for camping, football games, whatever, go for it. Also, we got to take a look here at the Dapson. Now, this is their 1000 series. Okay, so this is their Dapson 1000L. It's a 1 kilowatt unit, $359. At this price, I would say go for it. If it was a little bit higher, I would say take a look at something from like EcoFlow because the fan is going to be louder. You're going to get more AC ports. This one's only giving you 2 ports. Most EcoFlow is going to give you at least 4 of those. So compromises to be made. You get a light on the front. You're getting the USB-Cs, USB-As, and unlike some of the other ones, you're still getting a little barrel port. There's still some electronics that you can buy that uses a barrel port for charging purposes, especially like your 12-volt immersion heater, stuff like that. That's a buy now price at $359. They have a lot of other stuff on sale as well, so just kind of go through their list. Listen, literally the other day I was preparing to do my 5-year review of the Diamondback cover. As I go into that cover, I discover a wallet on my Diamondback cover. It was my buddy's. He lost it for 2 days here at my house. They came over to go swimming. Well, if he would have had a tracker in his wallet, we wouldn't have been searching for 2 days near the pool or in my man cave. We would have known that he absentmindedly set it on the bed of my truck. $34, Ridge. This works with the Find My Networks. You got to have an iPhone or an iPad. That's a buy it now price, 13% off. Ridge is a very reliable company, and it's going to slip right into your wallet very, very easily. The Ace Beam Pocket Light AA. The lightning deal on this back in the day used to be $16. Inflation, we already know what the deal is. So at $19.98, this is a deal that you just want to snatch up. So normally $29.99. It normally sells for $25. You might want to snatch it up. Great everyday carry light, 1000 lumen. It uses a 14500 battery. But if that battery runs out, you can put a AA battery in here. You won't get 1000 lumens, but you'll keep a working flashlight. So that's going to be something that you might want to snatch up as well. I love the O Station 2 Pro. I have this unit. They sent it out to me probably a year and a half ago for a review. Did the review. I put it in my game room. I keep this thing stocked with AA and AAA batteries. This thing can charge NiMH batteries. It can charge lithium ion batteries that are rechargeable, but only the Olight brand. I had to learn that the hard way, but it can charge any NiMH battery. So any brand that's not Olight, you can charge. I buy the Amazon brand batteries for that. And I tell my kids, there's no excuse that any of your electronics, toys, controllers don't have working batteries. This is always loaded. It always has stuff ready to rock and roll. If I discover you asking me for batteries, you're going to get in trouble. That's what I use it for. I like it. You don't have to line it. You can throw the batteries in positive one way, negative the other. It doesn't care. Like the way you put it in there does not matter. And it has this little storage at the top. The very top has it has a recycle symbol. What it's really telling you is that either that battery can't be charged with this unit or that battery is bad. So you can take that. You can use your own outside tester, see if the battery is really bad, or you can just chunk it. There you go. So that's a great price as well. Olight also has their Marauder Mini, normally $199, $119, cheaper than their website right now. This is 40% off. This has 7,000 lumen. It has a flood mode. It has a spot mode. But what is really attractive to me is the RGB. Use that red light to use at night. It won't attract bugs. Bugs aren't really attracted to red light. You can use the blue light if you're like fishing or something like that. You want to kind of illuminate the shoreline, although blue light's going to attract bugs like crazy, so maybe not. And then you got a green light on here as well. It's waterproof. It used their charger that you probably got laying around already. If you have some Olight products, that's a buy it now price, especially if you want a super powerful flashlight in your kit. Speaking of your kit, this is a part of your survival kit, maybe keeping your vehicle, maybe for splitting wood at your house. This is the Crescent, much cheaper than the Fiskars. Fiskar's going to probably run you around $70 for this size, 6-pound. This is going to be a splitting axe. Normally $69, $41. Let's call it 42 bucks. That's a buy now price. I would snatch that up as well. Let's just say, for instance, you can't afford the big boy. Okay. You can't afford the name brand, but you want to take out a limb that's downed on a roadway or something like that. You want to prune your own trees or bushes that are like your height. You don't have a big pole saw. You can whip this thing out. It's going to be fantastic for knocking down limbs about up to 4 inches. Beyond that, those limbs are probably heavy and it could probably bend the blade. But I would comfortably do a limb up to 4 inches with this. Normally 20 bucks, $16, 23% off. That's a buy it now price. And then we really need to look at this just like no name cheap survival kit. Now, there are so many survival kits by some of these companies that you 100% have to check out. And this is not one of them. The reason I want to point this out is because I have a coupon code that's going to get this thing down a lot of money. These are great kits to just put in vehicles. Say, for instance, your wife refuses to let you make some crazy get home kit, some crazy survival kit. You can buy one of these and slip it in her vehicle and she wouldn't even know it. Don't ask me how I know that. But also, this is a great starter kit to tell you what type of crap in the bag I don't like, okay? You're not going to like how well the shovel works in this bag. You're not going to like this funky looking multi-tool with the axe on the side. You're not going to like some of the medical equipment. The adhesion on these Band-Aids, they really suck, but they're nice to have for an ouchie boo-boo and not have. And then you can go through slowly but surely and trade stuff out on this bag that does not work for you. The 550 cord on this, is it really 550 pounds of test? I don't know. Can it hold up your kids' pants if their belt breaks? Yes, absolutely. So the coupon code I have on this is going to get this thing knocked down. For me personally, I see here it's going to be about 24 bucks. So that's going to be something that you want to check out. That's a buy it now price as well. And then we really got to take a look at these Luminate inflatable lanterns. I like these. I like to keep these in my blackout kit. Let my kids play with them. They're inflatable. You can pull them out. They recharge with the sun, or you can recharge them with a plug if the sun's not out. 75 lumens is all you really need. But if you want 200 lumens, you can buy that, or 300 or 600, whatever. Those are going to be good for like illuminating an entire room, right? 75 lumens is probably going to be good for illuminate a personal space. So if you're writing, if you're trying to type on a keyboard, whatever. Buy now price, normally 30 bucks, 20% off makes this $24. I would say buy that and keep that a part of your kit as well. Horo, they came up with this rotating 20 or 15 degree knife sharpening system. They're the OGs of it. This German company, there are a lot of companies that copy them, but they're the ones that came up with this originally. Normally 160 bucks, $135, 15% off. They are on the Horo 3. And the reason that they're discounting the 2 is because the new one is out. The 2 is just fine. The 3 has a little bit less rotations when you versus the newer model and stuff like that. But there's nothing wrong with this kit. This thing is fantastic. Great, especially fantastic for sharpening away from your normally sharpened system. You want to take this traveling. You want to sharpen kitchen knives. Great for that. And this is the item that I bought on these early Labor Day deals. I saw this deal and I had to snatch it up. First of all, I really want a Blackstone. I wanted it to be 33 inches. I didn't want to pay over 350 bucks. Well, this thing is normally $227. $205 was a great price. I have a coupon code that got this thing all the way down to, I believe it got it down to 150 bucks for me. Check the code down below because I had to absolutely go for that price. Matter of fact, let's see if I can pull up how much I paid for this, because I am a little curious to know what was that price that I was able to snatch this thing up at. But for me personally, I want to be able to have the ability to cook breakfast for the kiddos, to do whatever the case may be, do all the things. And so that's what made me want to snatch this up, hook this up to propane. Now you're going to be one of the first people to buy this. It only has 2 reviews. I'll probably throw a review up here when I finally get my hands on it. But I thought this was a unique purchase as well. So I definitely wanted to check it out. Now, guys, keep your eyes open for any deals that we may be having in the future. I'm going to try to definitely get you some of those just in case. Make sure you get subscribed to the channel so I can always hook you up with that type of stuff. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the Battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.